Hey, gentlemen, How to Halloween guys are here. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
Nice to have you here.
Doing great.
Introduce yourself.
Jerry Jadlowski from Robot Pumpkin LLC.
I love that name,
Yeah.
Robot Pumpkin LLC.
I'm his co-mad scientist. My name is Steve Sneed.
You do look like mad scientists this morning. We had you on last year, of course. We had discussed it. Is that a vintage Batman T-shirt?
It is. Yeah.
Sorry, I just got completely shiny.
You know,
That's an incredibly cool T-shirt. Sorry.
Thanks.
My geek just came out. And anyway, we had you guys on last year for the first one of these.
Yep.
And of course, How to Halloween, part of the whole Makers thing. Makers Week is on. We had some confusion as to when it started. There's an article that says Friday, another one says Monday.
I've heard officially it starts on Monday with all this schedule, but they kind of ease their way into it. So.
It's okay. Makers Time is occurring now.
There you go. Right.
And well, let's start with that for the people that are unsure what it means to be a maker. Please answer that very basic question.
Yeah, that's a tough one to answer. But for me, a maker is somebody who likes to go off and make something. I mean, duh, it's kind of built into the name. But it's, somebody's going to go off and innovate somehow. Maybe it's build something. Maybe it's, find some way of doing some innovative clothing approach or something. It's just going out and working with your hands, trying to get in touch with that American ingenuity, the innovation spirit that's kind of lost a bit these days.
People that quilt are makers. People that have a hobby with building model rockets are makers. People that are geeks and recreate a Batmobile are makers.
That's right.
Is there a recreated Batmobile maker anywhere in this room?
This year, actually, that was last year. This year, we have the Bat Pie. So the motorcycle that Batman rides, yep.
And the Batmobile's gone.
And that is there, featured at How to Halloween this year.
Okay, very good. How to Halloween, again, with a Halloween emphasis on the spirit of making, creating, being creative and thoughtful, working with your hands. I'm reminded of old Rube Goldberg devices. I love those. A marble rolls down a thing and rolls down a thing. And I think the first time I ever saw anything like that, I was captivated. It was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Chitty Chitty Bang
I love
Bang?
That. Oh, yeah.
It was a movie for people our age with Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews and this great flying car. That guy was a maker, that guy.
Oh, indeed.
And can't beat flying cars.
I'm waiting for my flying car, by the way. I was promised one in the 70s. We were all going to have flying cars, for Christ's sake. But this thing made breakfast, I think, for the family in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
All right.
And that's makers. But of course, someone as modest as a quilt maker, also a maker. It's skills, it's curiosity, it's technology, it's as complex as 3D printing and as simple as quilt making and everything in between. So really, everyone's a maker to some degree, and that's what the hardest part was for me and other people to get their minds around at the very beginning. But now that I get that, it makes much more sense. Now, you're specifically mentioning Halloween with How to Halloween. You're going to be located this weekend at the Lansing Center. Give me the hours and what all's going to be there when I go.
Right, it's this Saturday at the Lansing Center, downtown Lansing. It starts at 11 o'clock, which kicks off things going. The downtown Lansing Zombie Walk is also part of us. That's going to happen at noon, and it runs till 5 o'clock.
Noon is the Zombie Walk.
Right, but so our hours are 11 to 5 in the Lansing Center. Yep.
And what's going to be inside? If I come down, what am I going to see?
So what we've done this year is we've managed to pull together 50 different activities.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. So last year we kind of went for the inspiration, showing off stuff and hoping people will say, hey, that's cool, I'm going to try that. This year we've added that, but we've also added a bunch of hands-on sessions. So if people want to learn how to make fake blood or make latex. They have one, what's it called? The glory of latex. Or
the glory of latex wounds.
There you go, yeah.
Which is glorious in itself. That's
you
that's
can
one
make
class.
it look like you got a big gash in your leg or something.
Good stuff, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
My favorite one so far is the mini makers. They're from East Lansing, aren't they? I think so.
No, they're in Okemos.
Okay, Okemos.
Yep.
So right
Close
here.
enough.
There we go.
In the Lansing Mall.
Right.
Or I'm sorry, the Meridian Mall.
Okay.
They're located in the mini makers.
There we go.
Yep.
So they're going to have a big table full of old toys. And this is called toy hacking. And do you remember Toy Story? The kid next door, Sid?
Yeah.
Where he takes all sorts of toys and smashes them together in really cool, grotesque
he
ways.
has these weird mashups of toys,
Yeah, that's what these guys are going to do. They're going to get kids hammers and screwdrivers and pop things apart and put them all together and cut themselves. And it's
They're mutilators and makers.
You bet.
So there's little stuff for the kids and maker sessions, but then we have these huge exhibits. we've got TC Paintball. These guys are out of Charlotte, and they do this zombie shoot paintball thing where you go out and you shoot the zombies. They're setting up this huge mini version of that where you go in with maze, and they're putting paintball guns in the hands of people who probably shouldn't be holding them, and they're going to send them out and go get the zombies. There's
awesome.
In the Lansing Center.
Inside the show, we've got people from Central Michigan Paranormal Investigators are going to be there. There's a booth of those guys.
Are those the guys that always film everything in night vision?
There's a lot of night vision and a lot of. Did you hear that?
But those shows are so dumb. It's like, what was that?
Yeah,
what was that? That's all they ever
They're
say.
there.
I feel a chill. Do you feel that chill?
I feel the chill.
Look, the beetle went down 0.3. But yet they never find any ghosts, because if they did, it wouldn't be at 10 o'clock at night. We'd find out like that day in the news.
We were actually hoping to find that the Lansing Center was built on an old Indian burial ground. Wouldn't that be cool?
It was built on an old bar. There might be some ghosts of livers.
Indeed.
We got the Star Wars characters are going to be out there, and Lansing Makers Network is always putting together a lot of great displays. Along with Impression 5 Museum, they're doing their Dr. Frankenstein circuitry lab. So if you have any electronics in your costume, they'll show you how to make that and that kind of thing.
That's kind of cool.
Just to do, just some basic stuff. And
they have some Tesla coils going.
We had a Jacob's ladder going, but
You do?
We did, but we figured out it's too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
Come on. Yeah. The original Frankenstein movie set was in storage for 30 years, and they sold it off for like $120,000. Everything.
Oh.
Can you imagine having from the original movie with Boris Karloff, Jacob's Ladder, the ball,
Cow.
I thought Mel Brooks in Young Frankenstein got a hold of some of it.
He found some of it.
Yes,
Yep,
which
did.
made it so great.
Mm-hmm. Yep, amazing stuff.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's alive. Now, what was there last year I wanted to ask you about? There were a couple things that you did. Remote control pumpkins?
That's not this year.
And live operation game?
That's there.
It's going to be there.
That's going to be there?
Along with the colossal Connect 4.
Okay.
That's new this year.
Connect 4 is a giant one, but
Giant.
The big operation game
Big
is
operation, life size.
hysterical.
Yeah.
And they have a wall-sized Tetris game, too.
Aliens from another planet are going to be like, what is this? A bunch of bored white people going and doing it this weekend at the Lansing Center.
Yeah.
But it inspires you guys, though. You're very excited about this.
It's fun stuff.
What motivates you to do it, and how do you explain to your loved ones what you're doing? Do they get it too?
They do. I mean, the story we keep telling is how my family moved into a neighborhood and I wanted to do something with my kid for all the trick-or-treaters.
Right.
And so we started this one project. We built a Frankenstein out of just a board and some chicken wire and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
And it just kind of built. So when I'm telling the story, the project for my family, that's kind of built in. It's like, hey, we can kind of do something together.
I like that.
But there's also too that we get return customers. People pull into my neighborhood
To see what you're doing.
Right, and it's that's just cool.
It shows you there's a market for it.
Right. I lived
Dude.
across the street from Steve, and I saw him build this Frank. I was like, what is that?
And that's how this all started, isn't it?
Yep. Then we started going back and forth, having a friendly competition year after year.
Yeah.
Just got bigger and bigger.
Building cool stuff in your yards.
Right. And then, you know what? We contacted the people at the Lansing Center, LEPFA, and for some reason they trusted a couple hacks like us with the keys to the candy store.
Oh, they're watching, don't worry.
And they have been great, providing us an
They're
amazing, huge exhibit hall that we are filling to the rafters with ghouls and goblins.
That's part
and
of the fun
it's
of
been
it, though, and that's community service, too. You're providing a service for the community. You're providing a good thing.
We want people downtown, whatever we can do.
That's
we,
what LEPFA wants, too,
Yep,
believe me. How exciting. Well, you guys do a good thing, and thank you, because you put a lot of heart and soul into it, and not a small amount of your own dough either.
Yeah,
and,
thanks, man.
Yep.
and that's nice, and hopefully it will continue to ignite. Have you found in the year since the first one that it is igniting a little bit for you?
There's a buzz, yes.
Definitely.
People are coming up. It's the momentum is going, and
Good.
we're building off of that. We're way ahead than we were last year, looking at easily doubling attendance, and it's nonstop. People coming up to us, and great reception all the way around.
Yeah.
Makers Week is underway, and are you totally affiliated with that, or sort of separated from that?
We're kind of loosely affiliated.
Loosely affiliated with that?
That's run by Leap. Let's give them a shout out because they actually are a sponsor of ours.
Yeah, Leap does a great job with stuff like
They're
that.
fantastic.
And,
Yep,
Tony Willis does that new economy thing with Leap, and They're running basically Makers Week. The startup weekend is next weekend, but you're certainly part of the spirit of that.
Oh, definitely. We're definitely we complement each other.
You complement each other. Makers Week and How to Halloween, all happening starting today, really, and for all intents and purposes. Tomorrow, what time do we go to the Lansing Center? From when?
It's 11 a.m. at the Lansing Center, all the way to 5 p.m. Tickets are only $6.
What a deal!
Yeah, you can't beat that. For
Hours of entertainment.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, lots for the kids. Any age group that's free. Little guys come in free.
We had a little baby Harry Potter come in with his carriage. Was dressed up like a castle, and so
Hogwarts.
from that, from that to any ages all the way up. There's a little something for everybody.
Yeah, I think it's under 2 is for free.
Okay, very good. That's important, gentlemen. Thank you. Website
www.howtohalloween.com. That's how-to-halloween.com.
how-to-halloween.com. There's a link on our website, too. If you go to timbarronsradiomichigan.com, you can look at the weekend happenings and click the blue hyperlink. Guys, thank you for coming in.
Great seeing you
Tim.
again.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Have a great time. Happy Makers Week to you both.
All right.
Have a good How to Halloween Lansing Center this weekend.